In today's video, we're going to go over what it is to be a generator. So in this video, we're going to go over what are the 5 types, how are they supposed to work together, why is it so important to know your own type, what is your gift that you're actually here to be to the world, how does your aura function, how to make moment-to-moment decisions in your life, having healthy relationships. We're going to talk about all different types of relationships, how to manage and protect your energy, and how to get life and projects moving. So there are 5 types within human design. We have generators and manifesting generators, which are both generator types, and they make up together about 70% of the population. But generators make up about 37%. So you as a generator are 37% of the population. Projectors make up 20, manifestors 9, and reflectors 1%. So when we look at our 5 types, we actually get to see that there is a very specific purpose that we all have when we work together, and that we truly are supposed to work together. That even though we might come into this life and feel as though, how am I supposed to get along? How am I supposed to know myself? What is my life mission, my purpose, my path? That in truth, we are a collective, a human species. And that as we begin to look at this, there is something deep within our genome that actually wants to evolve and grow as a species, not just technologically or even mentally, but really on a spiritual level, that there is an evolution that takes place within the cosmos that is impulsing us deep within our heart to actually evolve consciously as a species, to really truly be the guardians. And so when we get to look at this, we want to start to think about what is our unique design and how is it a benefit to others, to the totality and the whole, and that every single person on this planet has a completely unique blueprint, a completely unique fingerprint. So I want to really think about what is our legacy. And I love this phrase here, which is live a life that will outlive you. How can you make a mark in this life that is actually going to affect generations beyond in a beautiful and a positive way? And that's really what generators are here to really inspire in the most beautiful way. So we can see that each of us has a special purpose and that all 5 types are meant to work together. There's a reason why there's a certain percentage of each, is because everyone has their own unique gift that they're here to share to the world. And one of the ways that we get to see what our gift is or our special purpose is actually even looking at something called our incarnation cross. And it's going to show us that some individuals come in with the innate desire to be helpers, healers, to be teachers, to be guides, to be planners, to be people who remind people of the past and help people figure out problems in order to problem solve for the future. But I also want to put this beautiful thought in all of our minds that there are some individuals that it's their purpose to actually come in and kind of agitate society a little bit, get us to question things, get us to look at things in a whole new way. And so it's really important to understand that not every type is going to be doing something that seems like healing, teaching, guiding, in this kind of thing, that the purpose is the evolution for the species as a whole. And that we know as a species, sometimes we get placid, we get kind of comfortable in our life, in our routine. And so there are going to be certain types that are going to come in to begin to kind of bring a little bit of new energy to the population in order to get us to feel maybe a little bit uncomfortable so that we can start to decide, whoa, what could be different? How could I expand and grow? And so within this, it's important to know that you get to look at what is your unique and special purpose. And that when you learn that, then you start to be that so that you can respect what everybody else's purpose is. And therefore, if it is in alignment with your purpose, you can flow with it. But also, what we're going to really be talking about for you as a generator is how you have the right every single moment to moment to moment to make the decisions that are right for you, that actually gets to say, hey, I don't feel as though as this is in my highest benefit to share my energy in this way, or to actually say, hey, I have the right to share my energy in this way, and I'm choosing to, and I'm going to. So we're going to actually show how you are actually one of the most beautiful receivers of gifts and bounty and abundance and joy in this life. And we will talk about how you can create that. So generators again make up 37%. And the beautiful thing to understand is I have them side by side here, generator and manifesting generator, because again, for all intents and purposes, the gift for both of these types is the sacral center. So it's going to be this red square on the human design chart. And the sacral center is like your second chakra. It's like your cauldron of fire, your passion, your desire, your emotional connection with others. It is the place where energy cultivates, grows, and then needs to be expressed from. So your gift is your energy, your sacred energy. And it is an absolute must that you have a love for the work that you are doing. We're going to talk about what it means to have a strategy that is to respond, and also what it is to have an aura that is absorbing or embracing. So, as we get to look at this, it's really important to understand we're going to say over and over and over again that one of your themes is going to be something called frustration. There is many times a sense of frustration when it doesn't feel like your energy is doing what you want it to do. And therefore, I am going to highlight that energy of frustration or dissatisfaction or feeling stuck, bound, or as though you are a slave. Any of those vibrations or frequencies are going to actually be road signs for you in your life that are saying, halt, something's not flowing right for you right now. And it's really important to stop and take a look at where you're sharing your energy and where is your energy leaking, or where is your energy being directed where it's not being received with any type of gratitude or satisfaction, so that you can quickly correct how you are in relationship with whatever is pulling your energy in an unhealthy way, so that you can feel the vibration of what is satisfaction. That is the theme of the generators. And what that means is that even when you're tired after doing something, you should sense satisfaction, a sense of completion, a sense of being really happy with what you did, feeling really good in your heart, just this deep sense of, yes, I'm so happy I got to be a part of that and do it. Where there's just is this deep, again, satisfaction when you put your feet up to begin to rest your body because it feels so good with what you did. Now, the difference between generators and manifesting generators is that as a generator, you're here really to take your time making decisions. Even if you are a sacral generator, you are here to take your time, moment to moment, to feel out from your body what is right for you to do. You need time to actually feel new directions in life. You are not meant to make quick decisions of like, oh, let's go this way, let's change this job, let's jump into this new relationship, let's just go here. There is going to be an aspect to your energy that actually needs time to actually feel things out before you start to make those larger movements. Because once you get in the groove of a particular energy within your life, once you get into the groove of, say, a career or a relationship or a commitment that you've committed your energy into, you really truly immerse yourself within this. And so, therefore, it's known that generators truly are the type that can become masters and experts at what you do. That even though your work might shift, change, progress, advance, go into deeper levels, that there really is a call for you to pick that which you have a passion about, and then to let your life be the expression of that for your entire life. And that as you do, you can just continuously take it to deeper and deeper and deeper levels of mastery. Whereas manifesting generators tend to hop around a little bit more. They tend to be more about doing things in radical new ways, finding new shortcuts, jumping into things, and many times jumping in too quickly and having to do over. So there is a difference to the energy of both. And what we want to talk about is the uniqueness of what it is to be a pure generator and how to get to settle in to that beautiful energy that you have. So let's talk about your aura. Your aura is absolutely magnetic. It truly does come from your heart and from your body. You have a beautiful attraction field around you. So, from the human design perspective, it is looked at that all the types, so the generator, the manifesting generator, the projector, and the reflector, all the types except for the manifester have a magnetic aura that actually draws life's situations and invitations and circumstances into our reality. Okay. So when your aura is magnetic, we want to look at this as absorbing. We also want to feel it as though it is an energy that even has more of the magnetic, of the negative charge, if you will, of a magnet. So when we think of electric and magnetic, so electromagnetic, positive and negative charges, the negative charge is seen as the earth grid or the nurturing grid or the mother grid if we're looking at it from masculine and feminine. And what we're seeing is that it's like the absorbing energy, that which takes in ideas, inspirations, and thoughts. And when you start to imagine, okay, well, your field is very much like a massive field of attraction, the law of attraction, right? Field of attraction. We're going to see this as a very beautiful energy that truly is like a fertile garden that you get to decide what you want to plant within the dream of your life. What do you want your dream to look like? What do you want your life to look like? How do you want to map out the garden of your life? And when you can think of this, this is really beautiful because what it means is that your job is to really truly spend the majority of your time meditating on, contemplating, imagining what is wonderful in your life, what does bring you joy and happiness, what lights up your heart, what makes you feel such a sense of satisfaction when you contribute your energy to it. At a base level, there's going to be an aspect to you that is going to want to have a purpose in this life. The second chakra, or the sacral center, automatically has a genetic energy in there that wants the energy in there to be of service to humanity. But it's really important to realize that the service that you give should never be a have to. It should never be, oh, well, I have to because if I don't, how will I pay the bills? Or, oh, well, if I don't, they'll think I'm lazy or I'm not good enough. Or, oh, I have to because X, Y, or Z. There's a million different excuses we can come up with all the time for why we put our energy into things many times that are not actually something that is bringing us a sense of satisfaction or joy within our life, not allowing us to create a fulfilled life within this lifetime. So unfortunately, it is a sad theme within generators to hold an energy of many times being the martyr or the slave, feeling as though there's just a sense of have to, the 9 to 5 grind. Oh, I have to. Oh, I just got to get this over with. Or, well, I don't have a choice. Or, well, that's just the way life is. That's just the way the world is. Well, that's what work is or a job is. And that is so far from the magic of who you are. The truth is that your aura is so magnetic that I want to actually show you how to begin to manifest things within this life as though you are just putting your wish list out into the cosmos and into the universe, and then allowing the universe to bring these things to you. So that as the things start to emerge into your reality, you can begin to respond to how your body feels when it comes into your life. So, we're going to go into detail exactly how that responding works. And this truly is about moment to moment decisions. and truly to understand that you are designed for yes and no questions. So, here we're going to go into some examples of how to begin to use your inner authority. And your inner authority, regardless of if it's sacral, regardless of if it's even emotional solar plexus, where there's another video that'll go into deeper details about those. But just as a generator in general, regardless of what type it is, both of them are bringing you back into your body, paying attention to your gut feeling, that feeling of how does your body respond. So this is one thing I like to say is that number one, your job is to imagine, what do you want your life to look at? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your life to be imagined into and dreamed into? What would your dream world be? And then as you begin to imagine it, your job is to take those particles of life and actually start to say, okay, well, if I get that job in 3 weeks, will it make me happy? Will I enjoy all of the details of what it takes to make that job happen? Will I like the people that I'm working with? Will I feel inspired by the drive that I have to do each day? Or if you are working from home, will I feel comfortable being at home on my computer day after day? Will I feel fulfilled? Will I feel satisfied by this job? So every single thing we imagine we want to dream in our reality, we want to then ask ourselves in yes or no questions. Sometimes it's the dream vacation. Oh my gosh, I'd love to go on a cruise, or I'd love to go to this place and visit. And then we put that dream out into the universe, and all of a sudden, you go onto your computer and there's an offer for that dream cruise, or a friend is talking to you about that exact place where you wanted to go vacation. That is the universe bringing it into your reality. And the moment that you see the picture or hear your friend talking about it, the number one thing to do is not pay attention to where the information is coming from or even what is being said. You want to pay attention to the moment you saw the picture, immediately pay attention to your body. What did your body feel? Did it see that image of that cruise liner or that magical place you wanted to go visit? And did it light up? Did it feel excited? Did it feel as though it became more alive, like you really are excited to do that? Or did you see it and did you immediately feel kind of like a pit in your stomach? Did you feel your energy concave, sink in, drop down, feel tired, or go low? So this is the key thing. Your body is kind of in some ways like your divining rod or your pendulum. It is your yes or no meter. And you will realize that the more and more you pay attention to it, that you can't actually hide what it is you're feeling if you're not trying to hide it, right? Like, I guess if you were trying to hold a poker face or something, that you would have to really concentrate on doing that, master that, right? It might be, as a generator, if poker is one of your things, that might be one of the things you master. But in general, generators tend to be the type of people, it's pretty easy to read on the face, what are you feeling? And if somebody offers you something or says something, it's almost as though there's auditory and verbal sounds that are coming out, like, oh my gosh, oh, wow, ooh, oh, all of these sounds that just start to either create sounds and guttural sounds of either like, oh, caving in, dissatisfaction, oh, yuck, oh, these feelings of the body caving away, or like a no, retracting away. Or if you start to feel the energy where it's like, ooh, wow, yum, yes, that kind of energy, it is definitely your body saying this is a yes in the now and in the moment. So we want to almost think of life as this massive buffet, a buffet of offerings, that whatever it is that you put out into the universe, that you can decide, this is what I think I'd love to have within my life, right? I'd love this car. I'd love this house. I'd love this relationship. I'd love this job. I'd love this vacation. I'd love this experience. And then the job again is for a generator to not just go manifest it, because that's not your design. You are here to actually put that request out from your heart. It's just putting it out there. Putting it out there might be talking about it with others so that you can actually feel the words go out into the universe. It might be in a meditation or a contemplation. It might be creating massive feelings inside as you visualize it. And then you put it out into the universe and you say, universe, show me. And then the job is you got to pay attention. And you might find that you're driving to work and there's a billboard with exactly what you were just thinking about, or a car going by where the radio is playing a song that has something exactly to do with what you were thinking. Or you just hop into a coffee shop to get a coffee, and all of a sudden the conversation in line right in front of you is exactly what you were just manifesting out into the universe. The thing is that the universe utilizes your entire reality around you to bring back exactly, it kind of bounces back to you exactly what you said you wanted, so that then you can actually see it from outside of you, so that your body has an opportunity to respond to how you feel about that within you. So this is the key thing, that when the universe bounces it back, it's going to bounce it back through people, through maybe your computer, through your phone, through all kinds of different outward expressions. And the thing is to not really pay attention to how is it bouncing back, but more importantly, just realize, okay, now I'm seeing it. The moment you see it, what was the first reaction or response that your body had? Was it a woo, yes, satisfaction, or was it a oh, yeah, no, I actually don't think I want that? And the thing of this is I like to say that it is like a buffet, that you have all of these things being offered to you. But you know, if you went to a buffet, you do not have to eat everything that's there. In fact, you even have the opportunity to begin to put it on your plate. But when it comes down to it, you have the ability to make yes or no decisions moment to moment to moment to moment. So it might be a yes when you're at the buffet to get it on your plate, but it might be a no the moment that you get to the table to sit down to put it into your mouth. You might just be like, no. So this is the important thing about understanding this yes and no, is that sometimes you will get a no in life. And we're going to go over this over a few more scenarios, especially through our relationships with things, because sometimes you will get that it's a no for something. But we want to understand that it's a no in the now. So we can understand that if you've just had a big meal and then somebody invites you to go out to dinner, your body might go, ugh, to the idea of dinner and just say, no, no, thank you. I don't, I am, the body says, no, I do not want more food inside. But you could also imagine that if you ask, well, in 8 hours from now, or in a day from now, or in a week from now, would going out and having dinner with that friend be something I would like to do? And you could see that then the body's response is going to be totally different, because now it's taking into perspective timeline, and it's realizing, well, yes, I'd actually love to go out to dinner with that friend, just not right now. So this is what's really important to understand, is that sometimes you'll get a yes or sometimes you'll get a no, but you always want to be so present with yourself in the now that you are constantly checking in with yourself to make sure that you're always utilizing your energy exactly where your energy feels the most vibration of happiness, joy, and passion, so that you are managing and protecting your energy. And so let's talk about this within having healthy relationships. So again, we're saying this word energy, but let's really talk about what energy is. Energy is the energy that you expend. So it is the effort that you expend into anything you think about, anything you read, anything you listen to, any relationship that you commit to, anything that is going to take a significant amount of your time, your concentration, or your vital source of energy, is something that you are actually truly creating many relationships with. We create relationships with everything we interact with. So we have relationships with everything. And every time there is an exchange of energy within a relationship, we get to realize that this exchange of energy, We know what it feels like if we are exchanging energy. And if it is in balance, it's happy. It feels so good to be connected with that energy, that that balance and that flow. But if we are in some sort of relationship and it is not balanced, and it feels like one person is absorbing more and another person is giving more, or vice versa, there is an energy where both parties will start to feel off, and it will start to express in the generator as frustration. So let's look at this, because we have relationships with the food that we eat, with the people that we partner with the things that we study, the knowledge that we take in. We have relationships with our hobbies. We have relationships with everything we commit to, such as pets, such as having children, buying homes, buying cars. Anything that takes a significant amount of time is something that we commit into being in a relationship for a long term. So, a career is a long term relationship. A pet is a long term relationship. A house is a very long term relationship. Taking a workshop, shorter commitment, shorter relationship. Going on vacation, depends how long and how far away and how long it's going to take you to pay it off. A short weekend that isn't really taking any money out of your budget and it's not affecting the flow of your resources, short relationship. Something that's going to take a long time to pay off on your credit cards, and maybe a lot of plane tickets and a lot of travel and a lot of planning and a lot of coordinating. Long relationship, right? The food that we eat. Now, I'd like to think that it's a short relationship, but truly, the food we eat is a long term relationship, because it actually affects the building blocks of our body and how our mind thinks later. So, I want to just start to put all of these ideas out there for you as a generator. These are all very, very important, because every single one of these, I want you to imagine that your generator in your sacral center is like your tank of gas, or even better yet, like your bank account, and that every single thing you have a commitment to in your life is going bloom, 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 and it's taking some of that resource. So even though individually all of these things might be like, oh, I can handle that, that's no problem, it's really important to make sure that you do healthy accounting and you look at all the accounts of where you are sharing your energy, so that you can see, where am I potentially leaking my energy and where am I potentially utilizing energy that isn't even in my highest good. So within this, it's really a beautiful thing to start to think of our relationships as a way for us to start to understand, are we living healthy, living life energy, or are we perpetuating something that is referred to as deadlight energy, or what we more commonly know as parasitic or vampiric energy? And what that means is that no matter what relationship you jump into, before you do it, even if it's something as simple as the food you are about to eat, you want to sit with it and ask, body, is this food that is going to make you happy? Is this food that in an hour from now, after I eat it, am I going to be satisfied? Am I going to feel happy that I ate it? Am I going to feel as though it made me feel good? And I would want to really have that as part of the molecules that are creating my body, right? Or if I eat this, is it going to deplete me? Am I going to get a tummy ache? Am I going to be regretful of having eaten this food? Everything that you do, you can start to do this with. And as you do, you are going to start to find that it's going to be quite shocking how many places at first that we actually are sharing energy that is not necessarily in the healthiest way. And many times these are in our intimate relationships within our life, with partners, with family, with parents, with siblings, with even our children, with coworkers, with friends. Usually, the dynamics of our close relationships within our life are the places that we are playing out, where we are learning how to create healthy empathy and healthy boundaries. And when we learn to start creating these, many times we have to learn to step up and actually follow through where we said we were going to commit to and share our energy. And also, many times we have to learn how to say no when we sometimes have maybe felt like, well, I have to, or I'm obligated, or if I don't, then, everybody will judge me if I don't do this. So let's talk a little bit too about how do we have a healthy relationship with something if it feels as though we are not excited about doing it. Okay. So I want to bring into perspective, and let's kind of move into this next here, and how to get life and projects moving. So we want to look at when you have spent some time really thinking about what is it that I want to dream into my reality? What is it what I want to dream into my life? And again, it's coming from our imaginal realm. But a lot of times we imagine things that we really want, and then, sometimes we get it and it's not all that we thought it was going to be, right? So, this is why it's so important to allow the universe to bring things into your reality, and then to let yourself realize that even if you got it all the way onto your plate, you can still say no, because it's really important to allow yourself to know that you learn in the moment what is right for you, moment to moment to moment. And that as you begin to really click into what is your passion, what is your career, what is your mark that you want to leave here for legacies to come, for generations to come, you can start to go like, okay, well, I thought I really wanted to go on that cruise, but I realized I don't really like being in confined spaces. I don't really like being in crowded places. I don't really like being in that kind of environment. So even though it seemed romantic and like an amazing idea, the moment the invitation could come into your life, you could sit and go like, actually, now that I'm having the opportunity to do it, my body is really telling me it's not actually something that is in my highest good. So sometimes we will still agree to do things because we'll feel like, well, I got everybody into it. Well, we really got the boat rolling on that, right? And then it's like, well, I guess we have to because that's the family vacation this year. No, we want to get to where we start to honor each and every one of these things. So, how do we sometimes deal with some of the things in our life that maybe we've manifested, but we don't really enjoy? We're finding ourselves becoming resentful or even frustrated doing it. So, I like to use emails as an example. And the reason why is because sometimes in your career, you can find that sometimes your inbox will fill up. And all of a sudden, you got all these emails that you need to reply to. And it's maybe, not that you don't enjoy each of the people or the dynamics within the emails, but it's kind of becomes a chore if you have other projects you want to work on, other things you need to get to. And so emails can start to stack up like a chore. And then there could be a level of frustration. Now, the important thing to understand about this is that if you can begin to reframe everything you commit your energy into the moment that you do it, you can start to realize that even if you found yourself becoming frustrated with emails, you can realize, oh, well, it feels restricted. It feels like it's keeping me from doing what I really want to do. It feels like it takes up all of my time. It feels like this is all I end up doing, and that I don't get all my other projects done. What you want to do is take a deep breath. And then you just get to go, you know what? I'm grateful that I have emails because it's part of the greater purpose that I get to be within this life. And so, even though emails might not be my favorite thing to do, it's actually a part of the greater whole that I get to be a part of. And I'm grateful that I get to be in service in this way. So, therefore, I will just realize that this is part of the greater whole and just be grateful that because of this, I have the opportunity to do everything else I do. Now, there's all kinds of jobs out there where there's research parts, filing files, restocking. I pick a career, any career we pick. There's going to be the stuff in it we love, and then there's always going to be the arduous stuff that is like the maintaining energy. And our job is to actually start to find that joy in sometimes the arduous or the repetitive things or the things that maybe aren't the most exciting part of our job. And we reframe it by remembering, well, that's part of what allows me to do everything else that I'm doing. And another way I like to present this is with washing dishes. This one's really easy for most of us to understand, is that sometimes we can get really like, oh gosh, I got to go clean up the kitchen, or oh my gosh, I got to go do laundry, or it feels like a chore sometimes to clean the house. Well, when we learn as a generator to reframe that, moving into that project and sharing your energy in a relationship with washing dishes, or entering into a relationship with doing the laundry or cleaning the house, you want to start to actually take that same perspective of appreciation that says, well, I'm actually grateful that I have dishes to wash because it meant that I had food to cook. It meant that I got to create this experience in the kitchen. It meant that I got to be able to have the ability to put this nurturing food within. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, if your resentment comes around washing dishes because it's somebody else's dirty dishes, that has nothing to do with this topic. That is actually going to be something that has to do with learning your healthy empathy and boundaries in a personal relationship. So, what I'm really reframing here is actually kind of our ability to look at doing yard work, dishes, cleaning the home, maybe maintaining the car, doing the little things of life that maintain and keep life going. Sometimes we see those as a chore and we start to get bummed or tired by them. But really, when we start to go into gratitude, we start to have an appreciation that we have a house to clean, that we're grateful that we have a washer and dryer to actually do our laundry, that it's amazing to actually have clean clothes, that it's actually such a gratitude to have everything organized and in order. And so we start to see that, well, part of my dream of having a home, or part of my dream of cooking a meal, or part of my dream of having a car is actually also going to include that we maintain these things. So, we want a beautiful garden, but we're also going to have to realize that weeds grow and we'll pull weeds. So, every part of it, this is where we spend the time in the very beginning that says, great, well, if I want a garden, am I going to want to put all the energy into it that it's going to take to maintain it? Am I going to feel happy when I have to go out and pull weeds? Am I going to enjoy having to go out and prune the plants? Am I going to like having to make sure that I water everything every night? Please, my number one thing I saying is realize that everything you think you want in your life, it's important to actually realize what is the commitment energy and the relationship that you're actually asking to invest yourself into. And then therefore you start to think things out long term, so that you really start to look out into the future and you don't make impulsive decisions like all of a sudden bringing home a bunch of kitties or puppies and then realizing, oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated because I don't have time to walk the dog. I don't want to clean the cat box. That's like, again, we want to make sure that you're creating your dream life by responding to your body, where your body is going to actually be feeling out all the energy you're going to be asking of it in order to maintain that dream that you're asking for. So now, as you get life and projects moving, and as they move, the generator has something within your life that is referred to as plateaus or flat lines in your life. Now, these flat lines in your life tend to happen maybe up to 4 times in a life where they're pretty significant. But I'm going to say this, and you will probably go like, oh, I know what you're talking about. And that is there are moments in your life where it feels like life is just chugging along and everything is moving and you got it figured out and you feel like you're on track and you know what you're creating. And you'll get going for a bit and all of a sudden it just feels like oof, all the energy just drops out from it. And in that moment, it can feel so severe when the energy stops that it'll feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like nothing's working. I feel like I need to go back to school. Maybe I need to pick a new career. Maybe I need to start a new job. Maybe we need to move. Maybe we need a new house. The Usually the solutions that will start to come to your mind will be rather drastic and big. We need to move. I need a new job. I need a new career. I need to figure my life out. I need something new, right? So, what's happening actually within this moment is that the energy is moving, but there are these pauses in life that naturally are designed and happen for you that actually kind of stall your energy out so that you can actually be in that plateau for a moment. And it truly is kind of like your batteries have drained out as far as you can go with that. And then what the universe is asking of you is to begin to, from that next step that you're on, begin to ask yourself, what do I want to add to this dream? How can I make this dream better? Number one, I'm going to say is the universe is not asking you to step into a new dream or to get off tracks and go start a whole new career or a whole new path or get a whole new house. Not at all. It's quite the opposite. If you do something drastic like that, you're going to find that you just keep going back to step one, back to step one, back to step one. And really, we want to look at your life more as a Mayan temple on the left rather than a a Giza pyramid on the right. So notice that there are steps. And each of those steps is like you climb up to the next step, and then you're meant to sit there for a moment and be within that. And then it is called recharging your batteries. And what this is that you are meant to, from that plateau, ask, how can I advance from where I am? What can I do to make my life better? What can I do to expand my knowledge, my knowing? So these plateaus in life are the times when you should be taking workshops, going on your vacations, nurturing yourself, taking hikes in the mountains. Those plateaus, when it feels kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing, I feel lost in life, I don't know where my life is leading me, I just feel like I'm at a standstill and I don't know what to do. From the universal perspective and from the human design perspective, what the universe is saying to you is go do things that bring you joy, happiness, satisfaction, rejuvenation, inspire you, light up your neurons within your brain. Take classes, travel, have amazing conversations, join a book club, do a play, do whatever it is that brings you joy and happiness. Take a little mini time for yourself to recharge your energy. And you're going to find that when you lose yourself in that excitement of just reading the books that you've been wanting to read, listening to the podcasts that you've been wanting to listen to, getting that project done around the house that you've been wanting to do, you're going to find that all of those are actually expanding your psyche in a beautiful way. And you won't even know when this happens, but all of a sudden, vroom, the engines just take off and you find yourself taking off into the next plateau. So please remember that as a generator, you are here to be designed to actually become an expert or a master. And experts and masters are not just made overnight. It is your lifetime that becomes your mastery, which means that you are here to walk the steps, continuously grow. So if you do go back to school and take classes that are going to evolve and advance what you are already doing. Now, one thing I do want to say for a generator, especially for younger generators, and if you are a parent of a generator, that it is not something that a generator knows right off the bat, going to the high school career counselor where they're saying, what do you want to do? Pick a job. Not the greatest question for a generator. A generator really needs to feel things out. You need to experience it, feel it with your body, do it with your body. Experiential, really getting into having moments where you get to feel what it's like to maybe draw something out if you want to be an architect, or maybe have the experience to be able to help someone who hasn't been feeling well if you decide you want to go into healthcare or something like this. And when you do something like that, it should light you up. And there comes a moment, usually towards the end of the teens into the early 20s, where there's usually something that starts to just light up. Now, for a lot of parents of generators, it could just feel like, why aren't they picking something? Why can't they just do something, right? And some generators will very early on know exactly what it is that they have a passion with, and others it might take a little bit of time. But once you find what it is, it's never going to be just the title of the job. It's the essence of what you can be within that career that is going to bring you the joy. So therefore, when you find the essence of what it is that lights you up, that you can be within that career, you want to just spend the rest of your life finding ways to make yourself better at that. And you can make yourself better at that through travel, through classes, through study, through conversations, through experimentation, all kinds of things. So it's important to make sure you give yourself the time to actually find what is your passion. And then when you find your passion, stick to it. Don't let yourself get distracted on the plateaus. Realize that they are temporary and they are meant for you to actually be your recharging stations in order to bring more wisdom into your consciousness so that you can really take the stair step path towards mastery. So as we look at just the last couple slides here, I just want to talk about your sleep patterns and how to use up your energy correctly. And that is that your body requires physical and mental activity. So as much as you might do your job during the day, it's still going to be really important that something is actually helping your consciousness and your mind expand. And vice versa, if you spend a lot of time at a desk, at a computer, or in a stationary position, that you're going to have to find something physical that actually allows you to also physically work out the energy within your body. Now, realize this doesn't mean you got to go like be a triathlete or anything. Remember, it's physical activity to wash dishes, clean the home, fold your laundry, mow the lawn, take care of the garden, walk the pets, all of these things. So realize that if you can find the joy in the activity, because the physical activity does need to have a sense of joy to it, if you can find the commitments in your relationships as ways to utilize your physical energy for the day, then amazing. Then that puppy becomes the best gift, right? So you can find how that is something that can then expend your physical energy, because it is important for you to actually use up your energy each day. If you do not use up your energy each day appropriately, you will start to find yourself bogging down, becoming lethargic, feeling more depressed, or as though you aren't truly living your purpose, because the energy is going to feel like it's not making its way out into the world to make a difference. You are not a slave. You are not here to do anything because you have to. You are here to do only what you love. I wish I could emphasize that over and over and over for both manifesting generators and generators, and even projectors hold a bit of this energy as well. If you get frustrated, if you get feeling agitated in any way, it's truly a signal that you're not responding to things in the correct way. So remember again to just check, what are you sharing your energy with? Learn the ways that you feel happy and inspired. And that is your best way to use up your energy in your life. And the last thing is to really remember, you don't have the energy to do everything that you think you can do. You don't have all the energy to do all the things that you feel obligated that you think you have to do. You can do only what your spirit is inspiring you to do. And that is the number one key thing I would say about generators, both manifesting and pure generators, is that your energy is like the God source spirit flowing through you. It is your divine spirit that is flowing through you. So every time you allow it to flow with joy into expressing itself out of you and through your life, you are truly honoring creation. You are honoring the organic template. You are honoring source. And every time we contribute to that parasitic energy and that vampiric energy, we are truly limiting and even creating deadlight energy upon the planet where there is nowhere for source to go, and it just falls flat and dies. And when we can start to think about how sacred our energy is, and so how important it is for us to actually live a life that lights us up, brings us happiness, brings us joy, that is truly your greatest legacy that you can live, is to let your energy shine into the world so that it is an expression for future generations. So with this, we touched a little bit on how to make decisions, just because your body is such a major part of this. But from here, I'm going to invite you to go into the appropriate video if you are an emotional solar plexus generator or a sacral generator. Just allow yourself to dive into those videos and to find more about how to work with your inner authority. And with so much love, I invite you to just dive into being this experiment of really allowing yourself to love the life that you've come here to live.